The sun was burning hot when the stranger rode into the town of Red Ridge. The dust from his horse's hooves floated up like ghosts in the dry air. Nobody noticed him at first. The streets were empty because of the heat. People sat inside their houses, trying to stay cool, drinking cold water and waiting for the sun to go down. But one person saw him. Old Tom was sitting on the wooden bench outside the saloon. His face was dark brown from the sun, and his eyes were tired. He had lived in Red Ridge for 40 years. He had seen many things, good and bad. He had seen men come and go. He had seen horses that were beautiful and strong. But something about this stranger was different. The horse was not beautiful. It was thin and tired. Its brown coat was covered with dust and dirt. It walked slowly, like its legs hurt. The stranger sat on top of the horse without moving. He did not move his body. He did not move his hands. He just sat there like a stone, like a man who had forgotten how to be alive. "Who is that?" asked Sarah, the shopkeeper's daughter. She was young and curious. She stood next to old Tom, looking at the stranger. "I do not know," said Tom, "but I know that horse. I know that horse very well." Sarah looked at Tom with surprise. "You know that horse?" "How?" Tom stood up slowly. His knees made a sound like wood breaking. He walked toward the stranger. His walking was slow, but his eyes were bright and awake. The stranger stopped in front of the saloon. He looked at Tom. His face showed no feeling. His eyes were empty, like dark wells with no water. But Tom saw something else. Tom saw pain. Tom saw a man who had lost everything. "That horse," said Tom slowly, "belonged to my son." The town of Red Ridge stopped. The wind stopped. Even the sun seemed to stop burning. Sarah held her breath. "Your son is dead," said Tom. His voice was quiet but hard. "He died 5 years ago in the desert. He died trying to bring water to people in the small village near the mountain. That horse was with him. We found the horse 3 days later, empty and broken. We thought the horse would die too, but the horse lived. We took care of him for 1 year. Then he disappeared." The stranger still said nothing. He looked at the horse. The horse looked back at him. "Where did you find him?" asked Tom. "In the canyon," said the stranger. His voice was like paper burning soft and breaking into small pieces. 3 weeks ago, he was tied to a dead tree. The man who owned him had left him there to die. He said the horse was sick. He said the horse could not work anymore. So he left him. Tom's hands became fists. His face became red. "But I did not let him die," said the stranger. "I gave him water. I gave him food. I sat with him at night. I talked to him. I told him stories about the mountains and the rivers. I told him that someone loved him once, that someone would love him again." Sarah had tears in her eyes now. She did not understand why. She just knew that something true was happening. Something real. "My name is Marcus," said the stranger. "I was a soldier. I was a soldier for the government in the East. I killed people. I followed orders. I did not think about what I was doing. But one day, I killed a child. The child was holding a water bottle. I thought he was holding a gun. So I killed him." Tom closed his eyes, but he did not turn away. "After that, I could not stay in the East. I could not stay in any place where people knew my name. So I came west. I came to the desert. I wanted to find a place where I could be alone, where I could forget. But I could not forget. Every night, I saw the child's face. Every day, I heard the sound of his mother crying." Marcus looked at the horse. "And then I found this horse. This broken horse that someone wanted to kill. I saw myself in this horse. I saw a living thing that was destroyed. That was left to die. My son loved this horse," said Tom. "My son was a good man. He helped people. He never hurt anyone. And he is dead. You killed a child. Why should my son's horse live with you?" It was a hard question, a true question. Marcus did not answer for a long time. He looked at the horse. He placed his hand on the horse's neck. The horse did not move away. The horse stayed still. "Because," said Marcus slowly, "maybe the horse can teach me what your son knew. Maybe the horse can teach me that life is worth saving, that broken things can live again, that even a man like me, maybe I can learn to be good again. Maybe I can use the rest of my life to help people, to save people, to be like your son." Old Tom looked at the horse. He looked at Marcus. He looked at the horse again. "My son was named James," said Tom. "This horse's name is Storm. Storm was wild. He loved to run in the rain. He loved the mountains. My son said that Storm could feel the weather coming. He said that Storm could feel things that other horses could not feel." Tom walked closer to the horse. Storm did not move. Tom placed his hand on Storm's head. "Storm," said Tom softly, "I did not know where you were. I thought you were dead. But you lived. You lived so that this man could find you." Tom looked at Marcus. "You will stay in Red Ridge. You will stay with Storm. You will learn what my son wanted to teach you. And you will tell me stories about my son. Every day, you will tell me one story about my son. Do you understand?" Marcus had tears falling on his face now. "Yes," he said. "Yes, I understand." And in that moment, under the hot sun of Red Ridge, three broken things met. An old man who had lost his son, a broken horse, and a broken man. And together, they began to heal.
3 days passed in Red Ridge. 3 days of silence and dust and the heavy weight of waiting. Marcus stayed in the small room above the saloon. Tom had arranged it. The townspeople did not like it. They whispered about him. They said bad things. But Tom was old and respected. Nobody argued with Tom. Every morning, Marcus would wake before the sun came up. The sky would be dark purple, almost black. He would walk to the stable where Storm was kept. The stable belonged to an old man named William. William did not speak much. He just watched Marcus with suspicious eyes. But he gave Storm good food and clean water. Marcus would stand at Storm's door and wait. The horse would come slowly. Storm's movements were still careful, still painful. But the horse was getting stronger. Marcus could see it. The bones were becoming less visible under the skin. The eyes were becoming brighter. "Good morning, Storm," Marcus would say. His voice was soft and gentle. "Today is a new day. Today we will try something new." On the fourth morning, Tom appeared at the stable. He was wearing old clothes and a hat that had lost its color from the sun. In his hands, he held 2 pieces of rope. His face showed nothing, but his eyes were alive. "Come," said Tom. "We will take Storm to the river." Marcus followed Tom without asking questions. They led Storm slowly through the quiet streets of Red Ridge. It was early, and nobody was awake. Only a few birds were singing in the trees. The world felt fresh and clean. The river was 3 miles from town. The land became green as they walked. There were trees and grass. There was water. The air became cool and wet. Storm's steps became faster. The horse lifted its head. Marcus could see the horse's nostrils open wide, smelling the river. When they reached the water, Storm stopped. The horse stood very still. Its body shook a little. "What is wrong?" asked Marcus. "Why does Storm not move?" Tom sat down on a rock. "Storm is remembering," he said. "My son James brought Storm to this river many times. They would swim together. They would race in the water. Storm loved the water. But that was long ago, before my son died, before Storm was left to die in the canyon." Tom looked at Marcus. Storm remembers happiness, but Storm also remembers sadness. Storm remembers losing the person he loved. Marcus felt something break inside his chest. He understood. He understood perfectly. "Like me," said Marcus quietly. "I remember the people I hurt. I remember the child I killed. But I do not remember happiness. I think I have forgotten how to be happy." Tom did not answer. He just sat and watched Storm. After a long time, Storm took one step toward the water, then another step. Then the horse walked into the river slowly. The water touched Storm's legs. The horse did not run away. The horse kept walking. "Come," said Tom. "Walk with Storm. Marcus walked into the water with the horse. The water was cold. It felt good on his skin. It felt like the water was washing something away. Something dirty and heavy. Storm walked deeper into the river. The water came up to the horse's belly. The horse stopped and stood there. Just stood there in the water. And slowly, something changed in Storm's body. The horse's muscles became less tight. The horse's breathing became easier. The horse stood in the river like the river was holding him up, like the river was telling him that it was okay to rest. Marcus stood next to Storm. He placed his hand on the horse's neck. The water flowed around them both. "My son James told me something before he died," said Tom from the rock. "He was sick with fever. He knew he would not live. He told me, 'Father, I am not afraid of dying, but I am sad that I will not see Storm grow old. I am sad that Storm will not have someone to love him.'" Tom's voice became thick and hard to hear. My son did not know it, but he was telling me to take care of Storm, to wait for someone to come and love Storm, to wait for someone who needed to be loved as much as Storm needed to be loved. Marcus turned and looked at Tom. Tom was crying. Tom was an old man with a hard face, and he was crying like a child. "You," said Tom, pointing at Marcus. "You are the person my son was waiting for. You did not know it, but my son knew it. My son knew that someday a broken person would find a broken horse, and together they would learn how to live again." Marcus wanted to say something, but he could not speak. His throat had closed up. His eyes were full of tears that would not come out. "Go," said Tom. "Swim with Storm." My son swam with Storm every day in summer. "Go, swim." Marcus looked at Storm. The horse looked back at him, and in that moment, Marcus did something he had not done in 10 years. He smiled, a real smile, a smile that came from somewhere deep inside. He took off his boots and his clothes. He stood in the river in only his pants. Then he took a deep breath and dove forward into the water. Storm moved. The horse swam, and Marcus swam with him. They moved through the water together like two creatures who were learning to fly. The water held them up. The sun was rising now, and it turned the river gold and orange and red. From the rock, Tom watched, and Tom remembered his son James. Tom remembered how James would laugh when he swam with Storm. Tom remembered the happiness that had disappeared when James died. But now, watching Marcus and Storm swim together in the river, Tom felt something he thought was gone forever. Tom felt hope. The town of Red Ridge did not know what was happening at the river, but something important was happening, something that would change everything. A broken soldier and a broken horse were learning that water could heal them, that love could find you in the darkest canyon, that sometimes the people we lose send us other people to save us. When Marcus and Storm came back to town that afternoon, they were both different. Their eyes were brighter, their steps were lighter, and the people of Red Ridge could see it. They could see that something was changing, and they began to wonder if maybe, just maybe, a person could be saved. 2 weeks passed. Marcus and Storm became a common sight in Red Ridge. Every morning, they would ride through the town. Marcus would sit tall on Storm's back. The horse was getting stronger. The bones were disappearing under healthy skin. The eyes were bright and full of fire. But the town was not happy. The people of Red Ridge were afraid of Marcus. They did not know who he was. They did not know where he came from. They only knew that he was a stranger. And strangers brought trouble. That was what they believed. One afternoon, Sarah came to the stable where Marcus was brushing Storm. Sarah was the shopkeeper's daughter. She was young, maybe 20 years old. She was brave. She was not afraid of Marcus like the other people were. "My father says you cannot stay here," Sarah said. "He says you will bring danger to Red Ridge." Marcus did not stop brushing Storm. He moved the brush slowly across the horse's back. The horse loved this. Storm would close his eyes and relax. "Your father is right," said Marcus. "I am dangerous. I have killed people. I have done bad things. I do not blame him for being afraid. But Tom likes you," said Sarah. "Tom says you're a good man now. Tom says that you are learning to be good." "Tom is old," said Marcus. "Tom is kind, but Tom is wrong. A person who is killed cannot become good. A person like me, I can only try to be less bad. That is all." Sarah sat down on a wooden box. "My brother was sick," she said. "He had a fever. It was very bad. The fever came from a cut on his leg. The cut was infected. My mother was sure he would die. She cried every night. She prayed to God. But my brother did not get better. He got worse. Marcus listened. He kept brushing Storm. Then Tom came to our house, Sarah continued. Tom brought medicine. Tom knew how to clean the wound in the right way. Tom sat with my brother for 3 nights. He stayed awake while my brother burned with fever. Tom talked to my brother. He told him stories. He told him to fight. He told him not to give up. Sarah's eyes were wet now. My brother lived. He is alive because of Tom. Tom is a good man. And if Tom says you're good, then maybe you are. Marcus stopped brushing. He turned to look at Sarah. What happened to your brother now? He is working at the mine, said Sarah. He is strong. He is alive. And he walks with a small pain in his leg, but he does not care. He is alive. That night, Marcus could not sleep. He went to the stable. He stood next to Storm. The horse was sleeping, standing on his feet, the way horses do. Marcus thought about what Sarah said. He thought about Tom saving her brother. He thought about Tom knowing how to help people. He thought about the river. He thought about James, Tom's son, who helped people in the villages. And then Marcus understood something. He understood that he could not change his past. He could not bring the child back to life. He could not undo what he had done. But he could do what Tom did. He could help people. He could use his hands and his strength to make people's lives better. The next morning, Marcus walked to Tom's house. Tom was sitting on his porch, drinking coffee. Tom looked old in the morning light. Tom looked tired. I want to help, said Marcus. I want to help the people of Red Ridge. I want to work. Tom smiled. A real smile. The smile of a man who understands everything. Good, said Tom. Come with me. Tom took Marcus to the school. The school building was falling apart. The roof had holes. The walls were cracking. The windows were broken. Inside, there were 20 children. They sat on broken benches. They tried to learn, but it was cold in winter and hot in summer. The school needs fixing, said Tom. But we have no money, and we have no men who know how to fix it. Marcus looked at the building. He could see what needed to be done. He had learned building when he was a soldier. He had built barracks and walls and bridges. I can fix this, said Marcus. I can make it strong again. For 3 weeks, Marcus worked. He woke before the sun. He worked until the sun went down. He used his hands and his back and his strength. He fixed the roof. He fixed the walls. He made new benches from wood. He fixed the windows. The children watched him work. At first, they were afraid, but slowly they came closer. They watched his hands move. They saw how careful he was. They saw how hard he worked. One day, a small boy named Thomas asked, "Why are you helping us?" Marcus stopped working. He looked at the boy. Because, he said, a long time ago, I hurt people. I hurt many people. I cannot bring them back. But I can help you. I can make your school strong. That is what I can do. Thomas thought about this. Are you sad? He asked. Yes, said Marcus. I am very sad. But when I help, the sadness becomes smaller. When the school was finished, the people of Red Ridge came to see it. They could not believe what one man had done. The building was beautiful. It was strong. It was new. Old Tom stood next to Marcus. Look at this, Tom said to the people. Look at what this man did. He did not have to do this. He could have left Red Ridge. But he stayed. He worked. He helped. Sarah's father stepped forward. He was a big man with a hard face. He looked at Marcus for a long time. I was wrong, he said. I did not understand. I was afraid. But I see now. You are not the man you were. You are becoming someone different. Other people nodded. Other people began to see Marcus differently. Not as a killer, but as a man who was trying to change. A man who was working hard to be better. That night, Marcus rode Storm to the river. Tom followed on his old horse. They sat together by the water. Your son, James, said Marcus. He helped people too. He gave water to people in the village. He did not have to do that, but he did. Tom nodded. Yes, he said. My son was like that. I want to be like your son, said Marcus. I want to use my life to help people. I want to be the person he would have wanted me to be. Tom placed his hand on Marcus's shoulder. You are becoming that person, Tom said. Every day, you are becoming that person. And under the stars, in the darkness of the wild west desert, a broken man and an old father sat together. They sat by a river that had taught them both that life could be healed. The town of Red Ridge began to understand something important. They understood that people could change. that even the most broken things could become beautiful again. The day was hot and dry when the stranger rode into Red Ridge. This stranger was different from Marcus. This man was clean and dressed in expensive clothes. He wore a gun on his belt, and his eyes were cold and empty. His name was Colonel Hayes. Marcus was in the town square, fixing a well, when he saw the man. Marcus knew that face. He knew those eyes. Colonel Hayes had been his commander in the army. Colonel Hayes had ordered Marcus to kill people. Colonel Hayes had taught Marcus how to be a killer. Marcus's hands stopped moving. His heart became very fast and very loud. He wanted to run, but he could not run. He could not hide. Colonel Hayes saw Marcus. A smile came to his face, a smile like a snake's smile. "Marcus," said Hayes loudly, "I have found you at last. I have been looking for you for 3 years." The people of Red Ridge stopped what they were doing. They watched. They listened. Marcus stood up slowly. "What do you want?" he asked. His voice was very quiet. Hayes got off his horse. He walked toward Marcus. His boots made loud sounds on the dry ground. "I want you to come back," said Hayes. "The government needs you. There is war in the South. There are people who do not obey the government. I need soldiers like you. I need men who are strong, men who are not afraid to do what is necessary." "I do not want to be a soldier anymore," said Marcus. Hayes laughed. It was a hard laugh, like stone hitting stone. "That does not matter what you want," he said. "You are a soldier. You will always be a soldier. You cannot change what you are. You cannot wash away blood with good actions." Hayes looked at the school that Marcus had built. "I see you have been playing builder. How nice. But this is not real work. Real work is being a soldier. Real work is following orders." Marcus did not answer, but inside, he felt something breaking. He felt all his good feelings falling away. He felt like he was going back to being the old Marcus, the killer Marcus, the Marcus who did what he was told. Tom came to the town square. Tom was old, but he walked fast. "This man cannot take you," Tom said to Marcus. "You are free now. You are not a soldier anymore." Hayes looked at Tom. "Who are you, old man?" "I am Tom," he said. "My son was James. He was a good man. He helped people. He died because of men like you, men who order other men to kill." Hayes did not care. "Marcus will come with me, or there will be trouble. I can burn this town. I can kill these people. One old man like you cannot stop me." People began to move. They were afraid. They wanted to run. They wanted to hide. But then they heard a sound. It was the sound of a horse running very fast. Storm came into the town square at full speed. The horse was beautiful and strong and angry. Storm's eyes were wild. The horse ran directly at Colonel Hayes. Hayes tried to run, but Storm was too fast. The horse pushed Hayes down with his body. Hayes fell hard on the ground. The air left his lungs. He could not breathe. He could not move. Storm stood over Hayes. The horse's hooves were very close to Hayes's face. One kick would kill him. Storm could do it. Storm wanted to do it. "Storm," said Marcus. His voice was very calm and very clear. "Stop." Storm stopped. The horse moved back, but the horse watched Hayes with eyes that said, "I could kill you." Hayes was shaking. He was afraid. For the first time, a strong man was afraid. Marcus walked to Hayes. He looked down at the man who had been his commander, the man who had ordered him to kill, the man who had made him a killer. "I was afraid of you," said Marcus. "For many years, I was afraid of you. I did what you said because I was afraid, but I'm not afraid anymore." Marcus's voice became stronger. "I have learned something here in Red Ridge. I have learned that a broken person can become whole again. I have learned that love is stronger than fear. I have learned that a horse can save you, that old man can teach you, that children can show you the way." Marcus pointed at the school he had built. "This is real work. Helping people is real work. Teaching children is real work. That is what I do now." Hayes tried to stand up. Marcus pushed him back down. "I will not come with you," said Marcus. "I will not be a soldier. I will not kill for you. I will not kill for anyone. And if you try to burn this town, if you try to hurt these people, then Storm will kill you. And I will let him." Hayes's face became white. He was truly afraid now. Tom walked closer. "You will leave Red Ridge," Tom said. "You will go back where you came from, and you will never come back. Do you understand?" Hayes nodded. He was too afraid to argue. Marcus helped Hayes stand up, but he did not do it kindly. He held Hayes by the arm and walked him to the horse. He put Hayes on the horse. Go, said Marcus. Leave now. Do not come back. Hayes rode away very fast. He rode out of Red Ridge and did not look back. The people of the town came out. They looked at Marcus. They looked at Storm. They understood something very important. They understood that Marcus had truly changed. He had faced his past. He had not gone back to being a killer. He had chosen to stay. He had chosen love instead of fear. Sarah's father walked to Marcus. Thank you, he said. You saved us. You could have gone with that man. You could have left. But you stayed. I stayed because Storm stayed, said Marcus. I stayed because Tom believed in me. I stayed because you all helped me become someone different. I could not leave that. That night, Marcus sat with Storm by the stable. He held the horse's head in his hands. You saved me, Marcus whispered. You saved me twice. Once in the canyon, and once today. Storm made a soft sound, a sound like understanding. Tom came and sat next to Marcus. My son James used to say that horses remember love, Tom said. Storm remembers the love that James gave him. And because of that love, Storm loves you now. And because of that love, Storm protected you. Marcus and Tom sat together in the darkness. Above them, stars filled the sky. And in Red Ridge, people slept knowing that a broken man and a broken horse had become strong together. 1 year had passed since Colonel Hayes rode away from Red Ridge. 1 year of mornings and sunsets. 1 year of work and healing and learning to live again. The town had changed. The school was full of children every day. Marcus had taught many of them how to ride horses. He had taught them how to be gentle with animals. He had taught them that strength comes not from force, but from patience and love. But Marcus knew something that others did not know. He knew that Tom was dying. Old Tom sat on his porch every evening now. His body was becoming thin. His breathing was becoming difficult. The doctor from the next town had come and said, his heart is tired. His heart has worked hard for a long time. Tom did not seem sad about this. Tom seemed at peace. One evening, Marcus sat next to Tom on the porch. Storm stood in the yard, eating grass. The horse was beautiful now, strong and healthy and full of life. Storm's coat was shiny and black. Storm's eyes were bright and full of fire and love. I will not live much longer, Tom said. His voice was very weak. Do not say that, said Marcus. You are strong. You will live many more years. No, said Tom. I know my body. I know when it is time. And it is time. Tom looked at Storm. I am happy that I will not live to see this. I am happy that I will leave this world knowing that my son's horse is in good hands. I am happy that my son's horse has a person who loves him. I love Storm, said Marcus. And I love you. You saved my life, Tom. You saw something in me that I could not see in myself. Tom reached out and held Marcus's hand. My son James told me before he died, said Tom slowly. He said, Father, I will not live long, but I will send you someone. I will send you a person who needs help. Please help that person. Please be kind. Tom's eyes were wet with tears. I did not understand what my son meant, but now I know. James sent you to me. James knew somehow that you would come. James knew that I would need you as much as you would need me. Marcus could not speak. His throat was full of pain. Promise me something, said Tom. Promise me that you will take care of Storm. Promise me that you will tell the children about James. Promise me that you will help people the way my son helped people. I promise, said Marcus. I promise with all my heart. Tom closed his eyes. He was very tired. 3 days later, Tom died. He died in his sleep. He died peacefully, like a man who had finished his work and could finally rest. All the people of Red Ridge came to the funeral. Sarah and her father came. The children came. The shopkeeper came. The doctor came. Everyone came. Everyone wanted to say goodbye to Tom. Marcus stood with Storm next to Tom's grave. The horse understood that something sad had happened. Storm was very still and very quiet. After everyone left, Marcus stayed. He sat by the grave all night. He told Tom stories. He told Tom about all the things that would happen. He told Tom about the school that would grow bigger. He told Tom about the children who would learn to ride horses. He told Tom about all the good things that Tom had started. You changed my life, Marcus whispered to the grave. You took a broken killer and made him whole again. You taught me that love is stronger than death. You taught me that one old man can change the world. Days passed. Weeks passed. Marcus felt empty and sad, but he did not stop working. He continued to fix the town. He continued to teach the children. He continued to ride Storm through the desert and the mountains. One morning, a young boy named Thomas came to the stable. It was the same boy who had asked Marcus why he was sad. Thomas was now 10 years old. "Will you teach me to ride Storm?" asked Thomas. Marcus looked at the boy, and then Marcus understood something. He understood that this was the answer. This was the reason he was alive. This was the reason Tom had saved him. "Yes," said Marcus. "I will teach you. But first, I will tell you a story. I will tell you about a man named James. He was Tom's son. He was a good man. He helped people. He died when he was young. But before he died, he left behind a horse named Storm." Thomas listened. Thomas's eyes became very bright. "This horse," continued Marcus, "helped me when I was very broken. This horse loved me when nobody else would love me. This horse showed me that broken things can become beautiful again." Marcus placed his hand on Storm's neck. "And now you will learn to ride this horse. And maybe someday you will teach someone else. And that is how James's love will keep living. That is how Tom's kindness will keep living. That is how one good man can change the world." Thomas smiled. Marcus helped the boy on his Storm's back. They rode slowly through Red Ridge. They rode past the school. They rode past the well that Marcus had fixed. They rode past all the places that had been broken and were now whole again. Years and years passed. Marcus grew older. His hair became gray. His hands became worn and tired from all the work. But he never stopped riding with Storm, and he never stopped teaching children. The children grew up. They left Red Ridge and went to other towns. But they remembered Marcus. They remembered Storm. They remembered the story of a broken man and a broken horse who saved each other. The school became famous. Teachers from other towns came to learn how to teach there. They learned about patience. They learned about love. They learned about second chances. One day, when Marcus was very old, he sat on the porch of his small house. Storm stood in the yard. The horse was old now too, but still strong, still beautiful. Sarah came to see him. Sarah was now a teacher in the school. "Marcus," she said, "the children want to name the school after Tom. They want it to be called Tom's School of Second Chances. Is that okay with you?" Marcus smiled, a real smile, the smile of a man who has lived a good life. "Yes," he said, "that is perfect. That is exactly what Tom would have wanted." That night, Marcus sat under the stars with Storm. He thought about his past. He thought about the child he had killed. He thought about all the pain he had caused. But he also thought about the children he had taught. He thought about the town he had helped build. He thought about Tom, who had believed in him when he could not believe in himself. "We did it, Storm," he whispered to the horse. "We became good. We became whole." And in the darkness of the wild west desert, an old man and an old horse sat together. They sat under stars that had watched everything. They sat at peace. The story of Marcus and Storm became a legend in Red Ridge. It became a story that grandparents told their grandchildren. It became a story about how one broken man and one broken horse could change a town. It became a story about love. It became a story about redemption. And every child who learned to ride at Tom's School of Second Chances learned one important lesson: that no matter how broken you are, someone can save you. And if someone saves you, you must spend your life saving others. That is the legacy of dust and storm and love in the Wild West.